start with SIEGFRIED today. Aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, concealment system mod, gunfire control system mod 2. Loadout, you got sonar, epic battle booster, standard camo, German Unity flag. Specs, survivability, you got 55,000 hit points, 22% torpedo damage reduction, 37% resistance to fire. Main battery, you got 3x2, so it's 3 turrets, 2 guns in each. It's the Bismarck guns, 380mm, 19.2 kilometer range, 21.8 second reload time. Turret traverse is 30 seconds. Shell grouping is 2.19. Max range vertical dispersion is 110.7 meters. Max range horizontal dispersion is 184.5 meters. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 30.3 meters. Medium max range horizontal dispersion is 50.5 meters. Max HE shell damage 4400. Muzzle velocity is 820 meters per second. Fire setting chance is 37%. Armor penetration is 95 millimeters. Max AP shell damage 12,760. Muzzle velocity 120 meters per second. Armor penetration at point blank range is 773 millimeters. Armor penetration at max range is 435 millimeters. Minimum ricochet angle 45 degrees, guaranteed 60. Fuse timer is 33 seconds. Fuse arming threshold is 63 millimeters of armor. For the secondaries, you got the dual purpose 128mm L61 KM 40, 7 mounts with 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range. Shell reload time is 3.6 seconds. Shell grouping is 1. Max range vertical dispersion 312.8 meters, same for horizontal. Medium max range vertical dispersion is 187.7 meters. Horizontal is the same. Max HE shell damage 1500, muzzle velocity 900 meters per second. Fire setting chance is 8%. Armor penetration 32 millimeters. Torpedo launchers, you got 533 millimeter torpedoes, the Verling. You got 2x4, so there's 2, 1 on each side. And they're 6 kilometer range, 65 knot top speed, 90 second reload time. Torpedo launcher, 180 degree turn time, 7.2 seconds. Damage for each torpedo is 12,739. Detectability range by sea is 1.3 kilometers, 205 meter arming distance. For your AA, you got the 55mm L77, 8 mounts with 2 guns in each, 290 damage per second. Firing range is 5 kilometers. The 20mm, you got 12 mounts with 4 guns in each, 122 damage per second, 2 kilometer range. And then you got the dual purpose ones down here we went over, 7 mounts, 2 guns in each, 91 damage per second. Firing range is 5.2 kilometers. Maneuverability 34.5 knot top speed, 880 meter turn circle, 9.8 second rudder shift time. Engine spool up time 15 seconds. Reverse 8 seconds. Engine power multiplier speed threshold 7 knots. Reverse engine power multiplier speed threshold 10 knots. Concealment, detectability range by sea 11.7 kilometers. And then after fire main guns, it'd be 19.2. When the ship is on fire, 13.7. Detectability range by air, 7.4 kilometers. After firing the main guns, it's 15 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 10.4. Guaranteed detectability range of 2 kilometers. While firing in smoke, it's 12.5 kilometers. Armor, we'll get to that in just a minute. 1 second. We're just now getting to the concealment. Sorry about that, I got a little bit ahead there. This is my second time doing a voiceover for this. 40mm bow, 26mm deck, 26mm bow again, and then 30mm by 100mm between the bow and the rest of the ship. In the rear, you got the same 40mm stern underneath. 27mm sorry about that, 1 sec. You got 26mm deck, 26mm stern, and then you got that same 30 by 100mm plate in between the stern and the rest of the ship. Torpedo protection, 27mm side plating. Armor belt, 190mm. Superstructure, on the top you got 16mm of armor. Conning tower, 80mm of armor on top. Conning tower bottom 30 millimeters. Conning tower sides is 200 millimeters. And then the side plating of the superstructure is 16 millimeters. Deck is 30 millimeters by 80 millimeters. In the front, it's 25 millimeter by 100 millimeters. And the armor belt is 90 millimeter by 190 millimeter. As long as you angle, you'll do fine. You can bounce shells. In the rear, 25 millimeter by 100 millimeter. The turrets are Bismarck turrets, so the same armor except for the barbette. 130 millimeter by 150 millimeter on the top. Rear plate is 320 millimeters. And then the side plating is 150 millimeter by 220 millimeter. The bottom plate is 150 millimeter. The barbette armor is horrible, 113 millimeter by 180 millimeter, so that'll be easy detonation with 406 millimeter guns. 360 millimeter frontal plate. The Citadel in the rear, I believe, is 30 millimeter by 100 millimeter. Yep, it is. In the front's the same, 30 by 100 millimeter. Citadel deck 60 millimeters. Citadel bottom 40 millimeters. And then the Citadel torpedo bulkhead 45 millimeter by 60 millimeter. And then we'll go over the overview here in just a minute. This is basically just a cruiser version of Gnazino. If you want to compare it to anything, that's what it would be. Big guns. This ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns. Tough, above average base HP rating, superior AP shell damage, above average AP shell penetrate or damage, whatever. Sorry. A super heavy Type 0 cruiser designed to operate in powerful raider formations at the time the ship was designed. It was fast enough to escape from any battleship while its armor protection and armament was strong enough to annihilate any cruiser year design 1940. Azure Lane Hipper. Beyond range, igniter, punch through, fixated, refill station, base trait, firewall. Norman Scott is inspiration, direct impact, cruiser main battery shell grouping 4.5% plus. Nura, Circa, out of my way, cruiser main battery reload time, main battery dispersion. And then Defiance. You got aiming system mod 1, steering gear mod 2, steering gear mod 3, gunfire control system mod epic loadout. You got 5 smokes, 2 sonar, that's helpful. You got 2 British super heals, epic battle booster, standard camo, Defiance flag, or defense, I mean. And then survivability, 60,600 hit points, so about 10,000 more, or no, 5,000 more than SIEGFRIED. Torpedo damage reduction 21%, fire resistance 40%. Main battery 356 millimeter, 45 Mark 7, 3 turrets with 2 guns in each, just like a mini Rodney or Nelson. 19 kilometer range, 17.1 second reload time, 36 second turret traverse, shell grouping 2.2 kilometers, 2.2, my bad, not kilometers. Max range vertical dispersion 85 meters, horizontal 141.7 meters, medium max range vertical dispersion 22.9 meters, horizontal 38.2 meters, max HE shell damage 6100, muzzle velocity 757 meter per second, fire setting chance 41%, armor penetration 89 millimeters, max AP shell damage 11,340, initials 10,500, muzzle velocity is the same, armor penetration at point blank range 641 millimeters, initials 611, and then max range it's 347 millimeters, initials 356. Minimum ricochet angle 60 degrees, guaranteed ricochet angle 67.5 degrees. Fuse timer is 15 seconds. Arming threshold 59 millimeters. Secondary, you got the 134-50 QF Mark 1, 8 mounts, 2 guns in each, 5.2 kilometer range, 6.7 second reload time, 1 shell grouping. The vertical and horizontal dispersion for medium max range and max range is the same as SIEGFRIED. Max HE shell damage 1900, muzzle velocity 792 meter per second, Fire setting chance 8%. Armor penetration 22 millimeters. Then we'll get to the torpedo launchers here in just a second. And here they are. You got 622 millimeters, 622 millimeter torpedoes, 1x4, so it's just one in the front. 11 kilometer range, 67 knot top speed, 90-second reload time. Traverse is 15 seconds. Maximum simulated damage 20,742 damage per torpedo. 1.7 kilometer range for the torpedoes to be detected by sea. 210 meter distance for arming. Maneuverability is 540 meters. For the sequential, it's the same torpedo tube. You just can shoot it in a sequential mode. One torpedo at a time, that is. Comes in handy for whenever you're trying to get a destroyer, or if you got one ship on each side of your ship, you can shoot 2 torpedoes at each of them. It's up to you. We'll get to the AA defense here in just a second. See, it's all the same. It's just a mirror copy because this is just a sequential mode. It's not a different launcher or anything. 40mm Bofors Mark IV, 6 mounts, 2 guns in each, 238 damage per second. Firing range is 3.5 kilometers. Then you got the dual-purpose 134mm secondaries, 8 mounts, 2 guns in each, 69 damage per second, 4.5 kilometer range. 40mm Bofors Mark VI, 8 mounts, 6 guns in each, 317 damage per second, 3.5 kilometer range. Maneuverability, 34.9 knot top speed, a little bit faster than Siegfried. 770 meter turn circle, better than Siegfried. 5.7 second rudder shift time, my bad. Is better than Siegfried. 15 second engine spool up time. Reverse is 8 seconds. Engine power multiplier speed threshold is 31 knots. That's a lot worse than Siegfried. Reversing, it's 11 knots. Concealment, 12 kilometer range. Detectability by sea is 12 kilometers. After fire main guns, it's 19. When the ship is on fire, it's 14. Detectability range by air is 7.5 kilometers. After fire main guns, it's 14.7 kilometers. When the ship is on fire, it's 10.5 kilometers. Guaranteed detectability. So even if you're behind an island or in your smoke, they can see you at 2 kilometers, no matter what. After fire main guns and smoke, 11 kilometers, better than Siegfried. And then we'll get to the armor here in just a second. It's a really weird ship as far as armor goes. It's armored more like Nelson than Rodney, because you got a 40mm bottom in the bow, 25mm deck on the bow, 30mm armor plate in between, 25mm bow itself, and then 51 by 203mm in between that. And behind that's 51 by 203mm, 40mm stern, 40mm stern deck, 25mm stern deck, my bad. 25mm stern. You got that same 30mm plate in between that, and the 51mm by 178 plate behind that, and then another 51mm by 178 plate behind that. Torpedo protection, 30mm of side plating. And then conning tower is on the top is 127mm. Top side plating is 16mm by 38mm. And then the conning tower is 203mm by 229mm on the sides. The side plating of the whole superstructure is 16 by 19mm. The bridge is 16mm. Plating on the top of it is 16mm. Casemate armor, so the whole ship. The armor deck that slopes 127mm by 30mm in the front, 30mm in the rear, 102mm deck, and then a 20mm by 40mm deck, and then an armor belt of 30mm. See, it's just like Rodney and Nelson. Nelson has a 25mm bow, 30mm armor belt. And then here we go with the turrets. Main battery mount armor. Top plate for the turrets is 127mm. Rear plate is 102mm. Side plating is 102 by 178mm. Bottom plate is 89mm. Frontal plate is 305mm. Barbette hatch is 89mm. Barbette armor is 210 millimeters. The Citadel, the armor deck that slopes, is 127 millimeters, easier to bounce shells. Citadel bottom is 40 millimeters. The Citadel torpedo bulkhead is 45 millimeters. The deck is 102 millimeters. In the rear, it's 51 millimeter by 178 millimeter. In the front, is 51 by 203 millimeter. And then the Citadel armor belt is 178 millimeter by 229 millimeter. Sorry, my bad. And then we'll get to the overview here in just a second. You can go ahead and take a look over all these armor specs. It's pretty cool. It's got a sloped deck for the Citadel. You don't see that much, mostly on German ships I see that, or French. But it's kind of weird to see it on British ships, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'll get to the overview here in just a second. It's got the British Super Hill, of course, so this is a pretty powerful cruiser if you know how to play it right. Just angle, don't go bow into any battleship or they will go straight through your bow and hurt you. Great Hill repair party, restores severe damage. Sequential torpedoes, launch them one by one, big and flammable. Fire set on this ship lasts longer due to her large size and high caliber main guns. A hypothetical development of big cruiser designs created by British shipbuilders in the late 1930s with the main battery gun caliber increased to 14 inches, 356 millimeters. The ship was conceived in response to the strengthening of the Japanese Navy. Her main purpose was to counter enemy heavy cruisers. Year design 1940. And then we'll get to the commander here in a minute. It's just Bruce Fraser with a guys. Beyond range, home run, punch through, fixate it, refill station, base trait, make haste, maximum movement speed, plus 2.7%. Captain Janeway's inspiration, Starship Captain. Damage against battleships, plus 3.8%. Damage against cruisers, plus 3.8%. Cruiser main battery shell grouping when shooting at destroyers, plus 3.8%. Norman Scott, direct impact, cruiser main battery shell grouping, plus 4.5%. And then for the match, we're going to go ahead and get started with SIEGFRIED here, this is one of my favorite ships. It's got Bismarck guns. It's basically a mini Gnazino. It's a really cool ship though. Don't get me wrong, just don't go bow into any 406mm battleship. And I think 15-inch gun battleships can punch through it too, so Gnazino, Bismarck, Tirpitz can go straight through your bow. So you want to kindly try to armor and bounce those shells. You will still take some damage, but it won't be as severe. And it will keep you in the fight longer. If you can, get up close to those battleships, throw 4 torpedoes at them, and then it'll take like half their health, and then finish them off with the main guns. Aim at the waterline, shoot their citadel. Because the closer you are to a ship, the better your shell grouping is and your dispersion. And right now we are heading towards sea on the left side of the map. Shimato and Iowa are on the enemy team. They're heading towards me. This is in training room, so I can show you consistent performance of the ship and how you can expect for it to perform whenever you go to play it yourself. As you can see here, 1 second. It's taking a minute to get up there. That's how it is whenever you first start a match. You got to go up to the objective. There we go. We spotted Iowa. And we're going to go for Shimato over here. We're going to aim superstructure. Here we go. And that's a god-awful shot. That's the worst dispersion I've seen. See, that's the thing about German cruisers. They're just like battleships. It's roll the dice if you get good dispersion or not. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's like throwing a handful of marbles at a target from 5 feet. And you're not going to hit anything, basically, is what I'm saying. There's a pretty decent hit, but not what I was looking for. They need to get a commander like Prince Heinrich, just for the German heavy cruisers, the super cruisers, I mean. So, you get that perfect dispersion like with Heinrich. I wish they would do that, but for the cruisers, they just have the worst dispersion. Here come them torpedoes. See, I got smacked pretty hard by that battleship. And then I angle, bounce shells. See? But I still got a little damage, but not as much. Now we're going to depth strike him. Watch this. Aim waterline. Pull the trigger. Goodbye. 3 citadels. Easy. Oh, it's Baltimore that shot me. And Iowa. We're going to throw some torpedoes down for Iowa. And then we're going to depth strike Baltimore also. Here we go. Aim waterline. And goodbye, Baltimore. Oh, whoops. See that turret reverse. I hate it when it does that. Only 3 torpedoes hit Iowa, so we didn't finish them off yet. But we got pretty good damage so far. We got 110,538 damage. I take that back. 111,528. And secondaries are hitting him right now, but not doing much damage. 1 second. 1 assist. Match is over. And so you can actually get matches like this. Even though this was against AI and training room, you can actually do this in standard matches. I've done it before. I've had really good games with this ship. The highest damage game I had with SIEGFRIED was over 200,000 damage. And I even got a Kraken in it, believe it or not. Now we're in Defiance. We spawn mid, of course. And this one I can really show you what happens if you go broadside or even try to angle to Montana. If you over angle or don't angle enough, it will take all of your health. But you can dish out just as much damage to them though if you hit them with torpedoes or your main guns. If you can get that citadel, that is. But this one has a lot better dispersion. Of course, it's a British cruiser. It's going to have good dispersion. It's got battleship caliber guns. But I really don't agree with that 25mm stern. It should have been 32mm in my honest opinion. That way the only thing that can depth strike you is Yamato. Unless you go broadside, then Montana or any other battleship could. But your turrets can get knocked out very easily too because of the armor unless you angle them. Like I said, it's just like Nelson basically. It's nothing like Rodney. Rodney's got a 30mm bow. But this has 25 just like Nelson. It's the cruiser equivalent of Nelson at legendary tier basically. Smaller, more nimble that is, and faster. But with smaller guns. It would have been cool if they would have given us 16-inch guns. That would have been pretty dope. Or 419mm. But I don't know if they'll ever do that or not. There's Puerto Rico, superstructure shot, not very much damage. And I got slapped with HE, of course. Disabled my torpedo tube on the front. Superstructure shot again. A little bit of damage, not much. Let's try and set in the smoke, but it ain't doing nothing, so we're just gonna pull out. Oh, hello, Worcester. Watch this shot right here. Aim waterline. Pull the trigger. Goodbye, Worcester. There's a depth strike for you. See? These guns can be very effective. You just gotta look for targets, keep an eye out. There's a destroyer. There's Sumner. That's a good destroyer, I like it. But if he launches torpedoes, we are probably done for. And of course that one missed because that's a cruiser. I mean a destroyer, my bad. It's very agile, but we got him with a torpedo anyway. Pretty sweet. Now, let's look for another easy target. Here's Puerto Rico. I think I get overpins here, if I'm not mistaken. And of course he was too close. The torpedoes didn't arm. We aimed waterline, and we got overpins. Nothing good. That sucked. So we are going to go ahead and pull forward. There's that awful turret traverse of any cruiser or battleship. It just sucks. I don't know why they make the traverse so slow. If it's an advanced battleship or cruiser, it should have a very quick traverse because you'd think it'd be running on hydraulics. Sorry. Had to clear my throat. See if we can get another shot on him. And of course we can't right now because stupid Conqueror's in the way. See, nothing. Just overpin, overpin, overpin. That's the only bad part about these guns. And of course, Montana's going to target me instead of the battleship sitting right there in front of him, which is closer. Doesn't make any sense, but that's AI for you. I guess because I'm the one causing more of a problem right now. So yeah, I'm kind of broadside to him, and he punishes me for it. I'm also turning, pulling that Citadel up out of the water. He goes right through my bow right here. See, I'm not angled enough. He's aiming right at me while I'm aiming at Puerto Rico. See, watch this. I shoot at him once, but instead of shooting at the freaking battleship sitting next to him, he decides to shoot at me instead. Doesn't make any sense at all, but oh well. And of course, I angled a little bit more, aim waterline. I got a good hit on him, but the battleship rammed into him. And let's finish off this annoying Puerto Rico. Up to 113,000 damage, 114,000. And the secondary's got him caught on fire, so it's just eating his health. 115,000. The match is over. That is Defiance, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.